The parents would rather have a boy, but the baby was a girl, and this has affected you more than you realize. Watch this video to the end, and I'll tell you how you can fix this negative influence on your life. Many people impose a lot of conditions on the fact of their coming into this world. Or in simple terms, many people have the idea that their way of coming into this world is somehow wrong. Someone was born a girl, but their parents wanted a boy. Somebody wanted a Capricorn and got an Aquarius or a Scorpio. Someone dreamed of having a natural childbirth. Many women keep having to listen to the topic of giving birth naturally, and that any other options like a C-section aren't the same. Some even fall into postpartum depression after the baby was born the wrong way, or not like the mom dreamed it would, or the baby was born to the wrong man, not to the one mom had dreamed of, or something else was wrong in the mother's mind, with the way the baby arrived, or the external characteristics of the baby itself. So these ideas about the ideal birth method, or the non-ideal birth method, or the perfect sex. I'd rather be a girl, or men have it easier. I'm talking with your constructs right now. The moment you allow this into your head, you label the very fact of your birth as a so-called mistake. My birth was a mistake. My sex was a mistake. I wasn't wanted. Or I was wanted differently. Since a child is very much dependent on its parents, particularly in the early stages of its life, when the infant cannot function at all without an adult, adults provide it with protection, feeding it, tucking it in, hygiene, and so on. The first 3 months, the baby doesn't even know how to turn around and is learning to eat and poop. So this is an interdependency. A child is 1,000% dependent on an adult. So if this adult unconsciously or even consciously broadcasts that, look, if you were born a boy, it would be better. Or, if you were born naturally and not by C-section, then you would be a normal person. Right now you're defective. You need a little tweaking, a few finishing touches here and there. But the infant, this also happens on an unconscious level. It feels that the world does not accept it the way it is. If only I were a boy, I'd be loved. Or if I had been born another way, I would definitely be loved. So the psyche does a very intricate thing. If as a baby, on an unconscious level, you realized that you weren't expected to be a girl, and you should have been born a boy, according to your parents' or grandparents' idea, then your psyche starts doing everything it can to turn you into a guy. Everything that has to do with being identified as a girl or a woman, breasts and female genitals, body sees it as a foreign object that threatens your life and needs to be gotten rid of. Then, at the psychosomatic level, diseases emerge. Myomas, cysts, endometriosis, and so on. Inability to have children or difficulties with childbearing. Everything that identifies you as a woman. We remember that you were not expected to be a woman or weren't wanted, and you might not have been born. But if you were born a boy, you would have been loved by your parents. The body begins the process of self-destruction as a woman. If you are exactly the woman whose parents wanted a son, give this video a like. The second point is psychological, not on the bodily level, but on the level of behavioral patterns. These kinds of women begin unconsciously to behave like men, making friends with boys at a young age, dressing like a boy, mimicking boyish behavior, rejecting everything girly, everything that has to do with pink flowers, dresses, Barbie dolls, everything about femininity. In adolescence, maybe you deny men as a love interest and say, "No, I'm just friends with them. I don't like any of the boys, they're just my buddies." In adulthood, it's a butch woman who does not tolerate other men, competes with them, battles for supremacy, for leadership, for power. Many distortions emerge at the physical body level, at the level of your behavior, your relationships with other people and with men, including how you see yourself, depending on whether you are wanted or not, and which sex you are wanted to be, and how many conditions were imposed on your birth. We have a link to a free week of my witches course below this video. There are 3 free practices you can take, including the practice of working with the fetal stage period, and it's suitable for those whose parents wanted them to be a different sex. The world knows best how to go on with its life. If the world were to go on only the way you made up, only through formal marriage, only through the sex the parents had in mind, only through natural childbirth without C-sections and other nonsense, humans would have died out a long time ago. So you appeared exactly the right sex at exactly the right time, and there's no mistake about it. Everything in this world is perfect. The only thing left to do is to accept it and not argue with it. If I like to wear jeans and sneakers, I wear jeans and sneakers, and the manifestation in this is that I stop torturing myself about not wearing dresses. I don't wear dresses, not because I'm somehow defective, not because there's anything wrong with me, but because I honestly don't like wearing dresses. I would generally encourage people to train acceptance within themselves more. Acceptance is not the same as humiliation, nor is it the same as being abused and having your will suppressed. But the more you accept the world as it is, the less resistance you will have. The less resistance you have, the more resources you have, and resources not only yours, but external resources that are given to you, that were not originally yours, others begin to sponsor you. So walk in greater acceptance, at least in greater acceptance of your sex, of your age, of your fate, of the world as it is. This is a universal recipe in general for all occasions. Only through my videos will you move deeper and deeper into this acceptance. Share in the comments what acceptance means to you, how you feel when I tell you to accept the world as it is, what your relationship is with acceptance, or are you a professional protester? Share. We'll be sure to take a look at it all. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ring the bell. I encourage you to watch all my videos on all the topics I discuss. Trust me, they will.